session of You and Me show. My name is Khadija Amri. In previous session, we were able to learn and get the general knowledge about the issues militating against the fresh graduates, and touch on the possible and see the and briefly see the challenges facing the fresh graduates. In today's session, we are going to see into details one challenge after another and provide the possible solutions. Victor, for the last session, you mentioned about high rate of unemployment, pressure from families, finance issues, and low capital. How are these things challengeable to fresh graduates?
Okay, basically, like you rightly said, unemployment issues are vital problems that militate against fresh graduates. Most fresh graduates get into the market to discover that there are no jobs. But when we look at these issues, one after the other, we begin to see why they do not get the jobs they desire. Now, one of the issues is a concept I call marketability. Now, you see, when a product is marketable, the people will buy the product. Most fresh graduates graduate from schools without being marketable, and that has caused a lot of problems and has resulted to low acceptance into the companies. So for fresh graduates to get jobs they desire, they need to be marketable. Being marketable is the ability to acquire information that is required in the working field. And most fresh graduates lack this information, and that has resulted to their inability to deliver when required. And for that reason, most of them have not been able to get the jobs. So fresh graduates are thereby advised to take their studies seriously during school, and focus, and get the skills that are necessary thereafter. Secondly, we're looking at poor wages. Most companies actually offer very poor wages, and this reduces the value of fresh graduates. So most fresh graduates, after going through all the struggles in school, they are not willing to settle for less. They are not willing to settle for less. So most of them decide or prefer to stay alone, stay at home without a job. And finally, we're going to look at the issue of limited jobs. Now, a lot of fresh graduates are out there fighting for limited seats. Limited seats are due to inavailability of the companies to employ, inavailability of working environments, busy companies. Now, governments should try as much as possible to create project schemes that will provide sufficient jobs for fresh graduates. And secondly, fresh graduates are also advised to be entrepreneurs. They should embark on small-scale businesses and employ others.
Okay. From that point itself, you mentioned that fresh graduates are advised to start being entrepreneurs. Where will they get the capital?
Okay, yeah, that takes us to the concept of finance. Now, you can see that finance is a major problem that has militated against fresh graduates. Most fresh graduates actually they want to be self-employed, but due to finance issues, they cannot. Government advised to provide schemes that will provide money for fresh graduates to at least embark on some business ventures. Even though they might be prone or vulnerable to problems like failures, business failures, and competition due to regulations. But even at that, they are advised to start up bit by bit. Now, if the government cannot provide sufficient capital whatsoever, however small, fresh graduates are advised to be industrious, come up with add business bit by bit, and try as much as possible to add value to the world. Yeah.
Okay. Before we go to the next before we see next point, can you tell us what really happens when the government gives money to these fresh graduates without without collateral? How does it go?
Okay, basically, ideally for bank or from the government. And basically, as a fresh graduate, you might not have sufficient capital and also collateral. So what I think the government should do is the government should set up a system that will review the marketing model and marketing structure. Now, if this marketing model appears or looks enticing, or looks okay, after due review and scrutiny, the government can give out this loans even without collateral.
Okay. So how about the family, the pressure from the family?
Okay, yeah. Basically, pressure from family is also a major problem. Pressure from family boils down to the fact that most families, after spending a lot on children, expect returns. Now, and I think it is wise for families to expect returns from students. But what we want to address here is students should be able to understand their weight, understand their limits. Now, students should not act under pressure. Now, and students should be willing to take it gradually, step by step. Most students, out of the situation they find themselves, get into a lot of things that are not advised, just to be able to meet the demands, just to be able to meet up family expectations. Now, such pressure should be controlled, should be absorbed by students.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Because don't you think that parents are right to have expectation to their children after how much they spent?
Yeah, I think parents are right, but
how do they deal with it?
I think the parents should give their students sometimes their children some time. Now, most parents try to compare their children with other children. This children has bought a car, he has done this, he has done that. Basically, they say there is season, there is time for everything. I believe everybody has a time to shine. Now, what parents should do is to educate their children and ensure they're on the right track. Now, children, on the other hand, are advised to work as much as possible to meet the requirements of the parents. As these expectations begin to grow, children should not allow these things to go longer than necessary. They should engage in activities, profitable ventures, and pay back their parents when needed.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you clear ahead, that is what is militating fresh graduates outside there, and those are the solutions, the possible solutions that could help over the problem. I'll catch you next time. Stay tuned. Bye. Thank you.
Correct.
And start living.